freshly cut bale of hay. You gotta really appreciate this freshly mowed field right here. So, anyways, shout out to all of my philatelists out there. If you don't know what a philatelist is, you're probably one of the cool kids in high school. So, we're out here with the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield 2.0. And we've got the Griffin Armament threaded barrel with their micro comp. I wanted to get a threaded barrel for the Shield because I'm in the market for a 9mm can. Be a nice little compact, hopefully somewhat silent package, especially with some subsonic 9mm. But we're just loaded up with Norma range and training, and we're at 10 yards. This is actually the very first shots with the Griffin Armament threaded barrel with micro carry comp. Micro carry comp, I think. Something like that. I'll notate if I'm wrong. $12 more rounds. I like it so far. So actually we're going to do a little bit of a comparison today with the factory barrel against the Griffin Armament. See if there's any kind of like a recoil reduction for one thing, or at least recoil mitigation. You can never actually reduce recoil, but you can definitely mitigate the feel of felt recoil, I should say. And then I also want to test the difference between accuracy with this threaded barrel versus the factory barrel. First off, yeah, the micro comp is kind of working its way loose. I had it on there kind of tight. It wasn't really that tight, but I'm sure if you snug it down pretty good, it'll probably stay put. You know, you could always put some like rock set on there. Anyways, let me go and load up some more rounds. But for starters, that looks pretty good. I think I brought out like 3 different kinds of ammo. I've got the Tula, pretty basic steel case stuff. Then Norma range and training, as well as some Callaway ballistic reloads, and what I usually carry in this gun, some Federal HST. So that, as a matter of fact, is 147 grain. So that will be the real test of this barrel, just to make sure it can cycle those rounds pretty reliably. This is actually what I carry in my car. This is, I don't really have a truck. I have an SUV, but this is my truck gun. I keep this at all times in my vehicle. It's got a TLR 6 on it. And again, it is the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield 2.0. M&P Shield Plus M 2.0. These names are getting way too ridiculous. Can't wait for gun companies to come up with some sort of an original, unique name for their firearms instead of just putting a bunch of numbers, letters, and dashes at the end of their recycled, regurgitated names that they've had for years and years and years. Anyways, that's enough rambling about that. Let me go ahead and load up some more ammo, and I'll be right back. So this is what I usually carry. It's a Ruger LCP Max. Just to kind of show y'all a little bit of a difference, though. It is definitely quite a bit bigger than the LCP Max here. But width-wise, it's actually pretty similar. So the Shield is really nice, or I should say the Shield Plus is a really nice gun to carry. And I've got this Kydex holster right there for it. But, like I said, usually I keep the Shield in my car, but I do have a carry holster for it just in case. That's all I have if I'm, obviously my car goes pretty much everywhere I go. So just in case, for whatever reason, I don't have my LCP Max, I still got my Shield Plus. And for whatever reason, though, even though supposedly the extendo mag that comes with it, the factory one, it's supposed to hold 13 rounds. However, for the life of me, I cannot jam that 13th round in there, so I always just put 12 rounds in here. And I'm loaded up with Tula steel case, I believe 115 grain. Alright, square up here. Sort of uneven ground right there. Wow, I like it a lot. I mean, I'm talking about the barrel. I don't know if it's the micro comp, which is definitely coming loose a little bit, but that's okay, because if I were to put the micro comp on for more of a permanent application, like I said, I'd use some rock set. But I'm going to be swapping out the barrel with the factory barrel for a little bit of testing here, but I think you guys can see that so far it's running very reliably. Let me load up some, I think I want to do some Callaway ballistic reloads. So the Tula is kind of very low tier as far as steel case goes, but the Callaway ballistic reloads are very low tier as far as brass case goes, so we'll give that a try next. Brought out this crescent wrench too. It's kind of the perfect tool for tightening that micro comp down. But like I said, I don't want to go too tight yet. So just good to have around though. And then right here is the factory barrel. So yeah, let me go ahead and load up. Man, this hay smells so good. But yeah, some of this right here, this is Callaway ballistic reloads. Remanufacture, I guess is what they really call it. It is so hot out here right now. I think it's only 90 degrees, which obviously that's pretty hot, but it's not excruciatingly hot. However, there's no shade whatsoever. It's not a cloud in the sky. So I am standing out here in very bright sunlight. I'm basically sweating bullets. Pun definitely intended. Alright. So this is the Callaway Ballistics. Reman 115 grain. Total metal jacket. %, so far. That's what I like to see. Very nice. Hey, the micro comp is actually staying put. That's good. Alright, so that's about all the ammo that I want to test so far. I want to save the Federal HST for the very end. But I think I'm going to do some accuracy testing right now. So actually, let's do the Federal HST next. But I want to go ahead and respray the target, so give me a moment for that. Sweating bullets. Alright. Got some Federal HST loaded up. This is a 147 grain big ass hollow point. So because this stuff is on, I think I got it for like 90 cents a round, which is actually a really good deal. Usually it's like $1 a round. I only got 20 rounds, or at least that I brought out here, because that's what I usually carry in my car. So 10 rounds right here, no sorry, 11 rounds right here in the extended mag, and then 9 rounds in the 10 round mag right here. So 11 and then 9. And aside from reliability, I actually want to try and just start to test some accuracy with these rounds. So I'm not going to shoot really fast here. I'm going to try and take my time. great accuracy. Obviously, it's just slightly high into the left, but that's not the barrel's fault, I would say. I'm pretty sure that this gun does shoot a little high into the left. I should probably drift these rear sights a little bit to the right, but anyways. Okay. Yeah, that's like a, I don't know, 1-inch group, probably. I mean, of course, I'm only at 10 yards, but this is a 3-inch barrel handgun. Actually, the Griffin Armament barrel, I believe, is 3.5 inches, whereas the factory barrel is like 3.1 inches. Griffin Armament's probably 3.6 inches, because I think it's exactly half of an inch longer than the factory barrel. Again, I don't know why sentences are hard for me today, but I think this micro comp's starting to come a little loose. These 147 grain projectiles are probably really putting a lot of wear on this micro comp here, but I think accuracy is pretty good. Let's go and finish it off with some rapid shooting. That was me. I jerked the trigger. Very nice. Yeah. The micro comp came a little loose there. All right. I'm just gonna go ahead and do a little bit of comparison between the two barrels as far as accuracy goes. I'm just gonna do 2 different loads. I'm gonna do the normal range and training, and then also the Tula, because those are pretty common rounds that a lot of people would be shooting. Respray the target. I've got the factory barrel back in here, so I'm gonna do 5 rounds of Tula for starters with the factory barrel. Then with the second 5 rounds that's in this magazine, I'm gonna swap out to the Griffin Armament barrel, and we'll go ahead and test some accuracy, compare the 5-round groups, and see if there's, that big a difference. I honestly don't think there's gonna be that noticeable of a difference. And again, we're only at 10 yards here, so, it is what it is, but just want to give this a try anyways. So I'm gonna start on the left side of the target. That, I think that was 5. Was that? Yeah, I think it was. Alright. So let me go ahead and put the Griffin Armament barrel in. Let's go ahead and see if I can do any better with the Griffin Armament barrel. I know that I was getting like a 1-inch group at 10 yards, but that was with that Federal HST, which is very accurate ammunition to begin with. So swap out this barrel here. Nice being able to utilize the hay bale, kind of like a table. The nice thing obviously is that you can use the factory guide rod. Yep, ready to go. Get this little micro comp on there. Snug her down. Five more rounds of Tula. And I'm going to shoot at the top of the target. Okay, so first of all, yeah, I think it improves accuracy. I mean, look at that. And that was actually, you know, I wasn't taking too much time in between shots with some toolless steel case. I think the group size is probably slightly smaller. It's not that much smaller. But what I will say is that felt recoil, I think, was definitely reduced with the microcomp. That's one thing I definitely noticed, which is why I was able to take quicker follow-up shots with that second set of 5 rounds. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I like this microcomp a lot so far. So let me go ahead and do the same test, but with some what we got, the Norma range and training. We're going to start with the microcomp, or the Griffin Armament threaded barrel with the microcomp to start with, and then, you know, since I already have it in the gun, and then I'll swap it back to the factory barrel and see if there's that noticeable of a difference. I will say with the tool, I think it was slightly noticeable. I'm not going to say that everybody should go out and buy one of these, but I think there was a slightly, slightly noticeable difference in recoil management. So I don't know why I'm having a hard time with sentences today, but it is what it is. So we're going to start with the microcomp right here, and I'm going to shoot at the right side of the target. That was me. Screwed up. Alright. Whoop. Let me go ahead and throw that factory barrel in. The microcomp is staying put, which is nice. Maybe after you just get it nice and dirty, so it locks itself into place. But that was still pretty easy to unscrew once I just loosened it up a little bit. Factory barrel. Factory guide rod. And spring assembly. Good to go. Alright. Got 10 rounds right here of Norma range and training. Or sorry, 5 rounds. This is the last 5 rounds. And I'm going to be shooting at the bottom of the target. That was kind of me. I wasn't quite ready there. That ain't too bad. So let's go take a look. I'm going to leave the camera right there, but I'll zoom in post-production. Alright, so hopefully y'all will be able to see this with the magic of post-production. So, first shot. So yeah, this was the tool right here. 5 rounds, I don't know, 4-inch group, something like that. Same thing up here. It's probably a slightly smaller group. Should have brought the tape measure, but that looks like it's about 3.5 inches. The one major difference I'll say though is that I was able to do this group with very little time in between shots. So these were very quick follow-up shots, all within, you know, like a 3.5 inch group at 10 yards with steel case ammo. Nothing to write home about, but I'm happy with that. Then I moved over to the brass case, Norma range and training, and I believe with the microcomp threaded barrel, this was it here. However, these 3 shots right here are very consistent and all within about a 2-inch group. So if I could be choosy, I would choose these 3 shots and call that about a 2-inch group. And then down here, I've got another 3 shots within about 2 inches. But yeah, I don't know. There's not much of a difference, of course. I do notice that there's less felt recoil, so you can get quicker follow-up shots. As far as accuracy goes, it's probably about the same. I went and buy a, hang on one sec. I went and go out and get this barrel to increase accuracy. I'd only go out and get this to increase felt recoil, or not to increase it, but to reduce felt recoil, as well as, you know, if you just want to get a threaded barrel and you're not even trying to use the micro comp. Griffin Armament actually sells this as a package and include their micro comp for free. There was a really good deal going on when I snatched this up. It was, I think it's usually like $200, but I got it for I think $158 with a Memorial Day sale. Always got to take advantage of those Memorial Day sales. That's usually one of the best sales of the year. So in the gun industry, I'll say. So, you know, because those companies love to get patriotic and drop their prices. So anyways, yeah, I would get this if you're thinking about maybe at least reducing the felt recoil, or if you just wanted a threaded barrel because, you know, you're going to put a can on the end of this, then this is also a good option, because what I was about to say is that the micro carry micro comp carry, whatever they call it, is free, supposedly. That's what it says on the package, and which I'll show you guys here in a little bit. But it's you're basically not spending any extra money for the compensator. So, you know, if you just want the threaded barrel, get it for the threaded barrel. If you want it for the compensator, get it for the compensator. What do you got to lose other than $200? But I think you can see from the testing just now that it's worth the money. You know, a lot of aftermarket barrels come out to around $150 to $200, so this is not at all like out of the ballpark. It's also kind of difficult to find threaded barrels for the M&P Shield. It's not, you know, it's not like this is the only threaded barrel out there, but it's one of the only ones in the $150 to $200 price range. So let me go ahead and bring you all back inside, and we'll take a closer look at it, just to kind of give you my final thoughts on it. So yeah, I'm going to get away from all these bugs. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it is gnat season out here, and they are ruthless. Ugh. I think I just swallowed one. All right, so let's go ahead and take a quicker look at the Griffin Armament. They call it the ATM barrel, which I believe stands for something to mouth. Oh wait, no, here it is. Advanced Threaded Match Barrel. That's what ATM stands for, of course. I keep, let's just talk about the shield real quick, or the setup. So I keep it in this Polecraft Kydex holster. I don't know if it's real Kydex, but you know, it works really well. And I had to go ahead and sort of round out, like bore out this little spot right here for the micro comp, but it fits in and out of there really well. So here's the micro comp on top there, on what I believe is about a 3.6 inch barrel. The one thing that I wasn't too fond of was just the fact that it kind of stuck out like about 1/8 of an inch right here. I wish that the micro comp was a little bit more flush with the end of the slide, but you know, it's not that big of a deal. It still worked well. It looks pretty cool. I actually do really like the, you know, these little serrations right here. You've got a GA right there on top. Actually, let's go ahead and take this off real quick, just to do it. By the way, this is my little tool for taking it on and off a pair of crescent wrenches, or a crescent wrench with a little bit of tape on there just to keep from marring it up. So I got it on there pretty tight right now. There we go. So the threads are really nice and smooth. The micro comp, glides right on there very nicely. So I'm sure like any suppressor or other compensator you want to put on there will probably go on pretty nicely. But let's go and take a look at it. So here's the barrel. Just for a quick close look. Nothing too fancy. It looks just like a stock barrel, but with these serrations up here and the GA plus obviously the threaded end right there. But yeah, it operated just fine. It worked really well. I didn't have any failures, as y'all could see from the shooting footage. And I mean, really no complaints at all. Other than, like I was saying, that it kind of sticks out. It looks a little goofy. That like extra 1/8 of an inch right there. But that's really just being choosy. So, well, that's weird. Maybe you guys can see this. The little end of my guide rod right there. It's a little flat part. It's kind of bent. It just, now I think kept it from the gun going together. There we go. That was weird. But I love this shield. I might have to see about that guide rod. Now that the video's over, I'm probably going to keep this compensator on here, at least until I get a suppressor. But, yeah, so I'll probably put a little bit of rock set on here just to keep it in place, because it wasn't threading itself. But, not too much to complain about. It's a good little setup, especially for the price. If you ever see this on sale, I'd say just go for it. I don't think you'll be unhappy, especially if you just want the threaded barrel, just to have a threaded barrel. So anyways, I guess that's about it. It's not too much else to talk about. It did cycle all this ammunition 100%. I did everything from Tula to Callaway Ballistic, remanufactured, normal range and training, and then what I carry, this Federal HST. And I always try and find these law enforcement boxes, the 50-round boxes, because strictly just as a stupid marketing ploy, Federal has the 20-round boxes that are a lot more expensive than these 50-round boxes, but it's the same round. But anyways, so that's about it. Highly recommended. Go out and get it. And thank you for watching. We see here in the wild the North American raccoon foraging in the fields of northeastern Missouri. What has he found? Oh, he spotted us. No, he doesn't care. He goes back to eating. Whatever he's eating, it looks very good. He is satiated, so he moves on. Something died over there. That is a lot of birds. God rest their soul.